first error is planning a future with the man when he has no plans for the future with us. Sounds familiar, right? What do I mean by that? You are already thinking of a family with the guy, you're thinking of kids, you're thinking of a home together, that means you're looking at marriage and everything. But in the man's mind, you are his girlfriend. You get it? Most of the time, in fact, over 90% of the time, when a man says, meet my girlfriend, he means every bit of it. That's how he sees you. Men are not, if you're a girlfriend, you're a girlfriend. They know the difference between the two. You get it? They are not dumb. But the error we often make is we are thinking of them, looking ahead, thinking of the future already, while they are still looking at us as far as the moment is concerned. And the disadvantage here is that on our part, because we're already looking at the future, now we invest way more than we should in terms of our emotion, our time, and all of that. That's why we start thinking that we are the ones doing all the things. Like, why is he? He doesn't seem too bothered. He is bothered, but just about the moment. You understand? He's not looking at tomorrow or the tomorrow. You are already looking at tomorrow. That's why you're judging his actions about today. You get it? But to him, it's about the moment. So he's able to do the things that are concerned with the moment. So if you can also not look at tomorrow and just be in the moment with him, you will be moving together. So if at the end of the day, you both realize that, okay, we really can do tomorrow together. Moving away from each other, it's not painful. You understand? Yeah, like it's not hurting. You don't find yourself in a situation where you had attached way too much in emotions into something, that pulling out of it becomes so daunting. Get that? Yes. Point number 2, or another common mistake women make, is that they talk way too much. Like they let the man in on a lot of things. They let their boyfriends in on a lot of things that rather makes them, like, it devalues them in the mind of that man. You understand? A typical example is those who like to discuss their family issues with their boyfriends. You talk about the lives of your parents and what they have done or not done well, or maybe how they didn't live well and all of that. In your mind, you're probably thinking that this is going to make him love me, like it's going to make him treat me better. He's going to get to see that you deserve something different, like you've been through some pain, and that feeling of, she's been through a lot kind of thing. Yeah, I just want to be different. Yeah, you don't want anybody attracted to you or staying with you out of pity or trying to be sympathetic towards you before they let their emotions out. Why? Because when sympathy attains its marginal utility, like when it gets to saturation level, what comes down is disgust. You understand? That's why they will treat you. It becomes pity, right? Pity is a bad thing. Because now they start to treat you not from a place of desire and passion, but from a place of, disgust. And that too can translate to hate. You get it? That's why at the end of the day, you start feeling like you were forced, like you forced them into stuff with you. Another mistake with talking too much, when you make your boyfriend lose the respect that he's supposed to have for your family or your friends, you join the line. Like it becomes really easy for him to treat you poorly. You understand? So when you go talking too much about your escapades or about your family issues or about the secrets of your friends, you're sharing them with your boyfriend because you're thinking that you're trying to help you guys bond or get closer to each other. What you're really doing is showing him that your support structure is not really a support structure. Like it's weak. You get it? So he can break in any moment and get out. He can do a lot and get away with it. You get it? So you want to avoid stuff like that because that is a dumb thing to do. The third stupid or dumb thing we do is that we become way too available. When we are in love, we just forget about us. You get it? And for the most part, we almost forget that we even had a life before we were trying to become a girlfriend. You get it? So we want to be in the man space all the time. And even when he calls, we think that we owe him, you know, the duty to be present. So even that aspect of a couple missing each other and desiring to see each other, we kill it unconsciously. And that's why we become too familiar. Like we let in familiarity come into the whole picture that before we are able to get out of it, we start needing all kinds of tips and tricks on how to rekindle this or that. Those are not things that people should be experiencing in a girlfriend-boyfriend thing. You understand? The only reason why people get to that space when they are still dating is because they've taken on things or let in things that they shouldn't have. You get it? If you find yourself in that familiarity with dealing with familiarity between you and a boyfriend, then it means both of you had gotten into a comfort zone. A comfort zone is not a place where you want to be in with someone without a long, should I call it a permanent status? No, same permanent this generation. Nah. Let's not use that word. But I mean, with a more definite status. You get what I mean? Yeah. So we don't want to do that. Getting too available. You don't have to be on the phone all the time. You don't have to need him around all the time. Learn to do some stuff by yourself, for yourself, with yourself, He needs his space. Don't be in his space all the time. He had a life before you became a girlfriend, and you two had a life before he became your boyfriend. Give each other some space. Now, let's talk about the fourth dumb thing we do that we really have no business with. Is taking on roles that have not been assigned to us. Yeah. You are a man's girlfriend. You are his girlfriend. Remember what I said earlier. Don't be a wife. You understand? If he wants a wife, he knows exactly what he needs to do. If he has not done it, then he's okay. He's comfortable with that status. Don't overdo yourself. You get it? In his family meetings, you have gone there, you're present. They are sewing a shwabi for something. You have sewn your own. As what? They are cooking for an event and somewhere. You have gone there. In fact, you're cooking more than everybody. You have cleaned those from ceiling to floor. Yeah? Weekends, you are not even thinking of the time you have to spend with your own family and really bond with each other. You're thinking of how you have to go do laundry, go cook for your boyfriend. I don't know what my boyfriend's going to eat and what. Those are duties of a wife. Those are nurturing duties, and that is assigned to a wife. Don't give a boyfriend that. Because when you do that for a boyfriend, what happens is that you bring him into that comfort zone. If he gets into that place where he becomes comfortable, there is no need for him to do the needful. After all, he's already enjoying what he should have done something to enjoy. You understand? Imagine that before you even talk of hunger, they had given you food. They will never hear you talk of hunger, right? Yeah, you have no need even complaining or even sending a message across like, can I get this or get that? Because they already brought it. See what I mean? Don't do that. It will never work in your favor. Rather, you make yourself, you devalue yourself before this man. If you bring him into that comfort zone, you guys can stay there for years. And guess what? The person who is going to successfully get him out of that comfort zone is a person he's going to settle with. It will hardly ever be you. And that's why at the end of the day, you will feel really hurt. You will be bitter. You'll be saying, after everything I have done for you, after, you really want to avoid that. And the last of them all is investing with a man who is not your husband. How can you be buying property, making joint accounts and all of that? It goes back to what I said in the beginning, that we are planning for a future with someone, with this man, who is rather living in the moment. You see? And men being what they are. If you're trying to buy property or you're trying to invest for the future because you're already seeing him in the future, you don't think that anything could go wrong, you're willing to spend the money, especially for those of us living abroad. Yeah. You think it's okay. You get it? First, you're having kids for the guy. He's not changing your status from girlfriend to wife. he's still there as girlfriend, which means in his mind, it's my son's mother, right? Like you don't have something very permanent to do with him. Like, oh, you get what I mean? Yeah. Or my daughter's mother, baby mama. Yeah. Which means that's how he's seeing you. He will not tell you that. And you'll be dumb. Another dumb thing for you to go asking him, what do you think I am to you? Some of those questions are like, what do you want to hear? Yeah. So you don't want to be investing. Don't try buying stuff or doing stuff that has both of you putting in money together because you think that tomorrow, because statistics has proven that most of the time, even when those men eventually move in with you or you move in with them, they still end up leaving you for the person who was able to keep them on their toes and to cause them to do them right. Men like challenge. You cannot take the hunter out of a hunter and think that you have a man at home. The person who will successfully reignite that hunter in that man will take that man away from you in as little as seconds. You understand? Yeah. So sometimes we are the cause of our own headache. We are the door. We are opening the door to the frustration, and we can actually close those doors and be better, and enjoy better outcomes. And if you notice, when you are doing all of these things, what eventually happens is that you become very emotionally dependent because now you're putting in way too much. So you're needing the man to put in that much so that you can become happy. Because the fact that you're putting in much and this man is not putting as much it's disturbing to you. So it steals your peace. So you start needing him to do those things, to get out of the moment where he's living, to do things about the future, which he's not willing to do because he's not seeing you there yet. He's not even there yet. You understand? So he's not seeing you there, right? So you're forcing him to get into that space. And before you know it, you literally have to force him to do everything. So things are not flowing naturally. It becomes so depressing. Okay. It becomes de-energizing. It makes the marriage, if it eventually happens under such circumstances, to feel like a charade. And if you guys decide not to even take the thing any further, like just stay as boyfriend, girlfriend, before you know it, you can't deal with each other. Like he cannot even stand you. Then his taste has changed. Then he leaves, and then you're there heartbroken. So, ladies, we can really save ourselves a lot of heartache. That will be it. I hope you liked the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. And if you've watched up to this point, thank you. And take good care of you. Stay blessed. Come back again next week for more. Bye.